Welcome back to another action figure review. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the first of the 5 character online exclusive sets of 2025, which is the third Doctor Vortex edition with electroplated sonic screwdriver, which is quite a mouthful to say the least, but this is the first of hopefully a few of these Doctor figures which are meant to be the definitive looks of each incarnation. The contents of the set is obviously the third Doctor, as seen in the story The Daemons, with a brand new head sculpt, several accessories from his tenure, which have been included in previous sets, as well as the first of hopefully many electroplated sonic screwdrivers. The packaging is based on what we saw in the previous Vortex release, with some similarities being passed on to this set, with the TARDIS, the current logo used in the show, and the multiple text bubbles talking about the contents. The colour of the Vortex that surrounds the box is a wonderful reddish-orange colour that is meant to represent the Third Doctor's era. The back of the box has a character bio about this particular Doctor, as well as some information about the action figure that this is based on. Finally, opening the box, instead of the blue Vortex that we've seen in previous sets, we are instead greeted with the TARDIS dessert bowl roundels, as seen in the fan favourite, the Time Monster. On first glance with the action figure, it's pretty amazing. This is a variant that a lot of fans have been waiting for a long time, since we never got a variant of this particular look, or any of his Season 8 costumes whatsoever, and I think it's definitely considered to be one of his most popular outfits, since it was a more vibrant outfit than what he wore in his first season. The accessories are re-releases from various hard-to-get sets, which is a fun way for fans to own some bits and pieces that they probably didn't own already. So the main reason for collectors wanting to grab this set is obviously for the new variant of the Third Doctor, as seen in the fan favourite story, The Demons, or The Daemons, or whatever you want to call it. This is actually the first time we've ever gotten a version of the costume variant in figure form. What I mean by that is obviously the burgundy velvet jacket that he wore throughout Season 8, as well as the new Inverness cape with the purple lining. I would argue and say that it is definitely one of the most iconic looks for this particular incarnation. The colours are definitely much more striking than what he had in Season 7, which was obviously a lot darker and kind of blocky in my view, which I felt didn't really work when obviously you were trying to debut a Doctor into colour TV for the first time. You'd think they'd actually go for more striking colours like they did in his second season, but I digress. As I've already stated, this look is based off his appearance as seen in the Daemons, or whatever, which was the season finale of Season 8. And I can understand why they actually went with this look, because of the interesting cravat that he had going on, and it has got a lot of interesting colours there. The main factor for this figure, however, is obviously the brand new head sculpt. Now, this is obviously based more on his earlier appearances in Season 7 and sort of early Season 8, where the hair was much more tamed. I have to say that I think this likeness is very striking and resembles Mr. Pertwee quite well in his earlier years. Looking at the sculpt, you have some of the wrinkles on the sides of his face. As with the recent releases, the skin colour has just been captured in the plastic itself, which means you get a better look at all those details of the sculpt. The only parts that have been painted here are the eyes, the lips, the eyebrows, and obviously the hair. It's all very detailed, especially when it comes to the hair, which has been painted mostly in grey with a white wash over the top, just to make those details pop throughout the sculpt, which looks really lovely indeed. And it carries on down to the sideburns on the side of his head. So the story behind this new head, according to Al Jawar himself, was that it was meant to be a part of a B&M set with the Richard Herndl figure that we got a few years back, as well as an updated look on the second Doctor, which is yet to be seen. Obviously, this particular set did not materialise until the release of this new Vortex range, which is obviously meant to be the definitive looks of each individual Doctor. When comparing the original likeness to this new one, I don't think there's much competition when it comes to which one has the better likeness, as they both resemble the Third Doctor in their own ways. Obviously, this new one is meant to be based off his earlier appearances, whereas the old one resembles his later appearances, such as the Sea Devils, the Carnival of Monsters, and the Planet of the Daleks, just to name a few. As I've said before, the costume is based on his appearance from the Daemons. It's the first time we've had this look made in figure form, which is one of my all-time favourite costumes. So starting off, you have his famous Inverness cape, which has been cast in a lovely matte black with the purple lining on the inside that It has got this sort of sheen to it to make it look like it's almost made out of satin, which is a very nice touch. The purple also continues onto the inside of the cape, which hasn't been done for the last few times we've seen on previous releases. They've either left it plain or they've not even bothered painting in there at all, but I suppose because of the high price range, they obviously wanted to add that in. So removing this is extremely easy as it's made of very soft PVC, so you don't have to worry about ruining your cape. Once removed, you get to see all those finer details on the velvet jacket of his underneath. Honestly, it looks awesome. It resembles the on-screen garment quite well with what they've obviously worked with. Obviously, a lot of fans would have preferred if they made a new PVC cover because the lapels were different, but I didn't think they were ever going to do it now, as they've never done it before in the Ranger's lifetime. The colour has been captured within the plastic, which I think is a good enough resemblance to the jacket's colour. The piping on the jacket can be seen going across certain parts of the jacket, have been painted on with such care, although I feel like it gives off a look that it makes it look sort of faded, which I think is a bit naff in certain lighting. You can't even see any of that details in bright light whatsoever, so I think really they should have gone more with a block colour, like black or whatever it was meant to be. From what I can tell, it was black in the story, so yeah, they should have really gone with that, in my opinion. I mean, it is only a minor nitpick at the end of the day, as I just think it really should stand out more than what we've got here. The shirt and the cuffs have just been painted in this lovely pearlescent white. And then taking a look at the cravat, this represents his on-screen piece quite well, with the main colour being dark green, with the various whites and reds depicting that intricate pattern, which I think was paisley, which has been painted with such care to make sure there isn't any bleeds or any spills on the cravat whatsoever, and it looks superb. The hands have been cast in a lovely gloss black to represent the leather gloves that the Third Doctor used to wear, which is actually the first time we've ever seen a Third Doctor figure to have this motif. Finally, taking a look at his legs, they have just been cast in a matte black, and his shoes have just been painted in a lovely gloss black to represent his leather boots, which was seen in the story, and is always a nice touch to see. It just splits it away from the sculpt of the trousers, and I love that little detail. Looking at the accessories that this Doctor comes with, he has quite a few. First off, his sonic screwdriver, which represents the on-screen prop to the best of their abilities, with the barbershop pole section being depicted very well. Sadly, it's missing the sort of intricate details at the bottom where the handle should be, but I can live with that. This can simply be fitted into the Doctor's hand with ease and can be posed in many, many various ways. You also have the Crystal of Kronos, which is seen in the fan favourite story, The Time Monster. This was definitely a unique accessory to have back in the day, which came with the Master in the Time Monster set from, I think, 2010, 2011 when it came out. It's nice to have a new version here, as mine has only slightly yellowed. I mean, I've been trying to clear them up with hydrogen peroxide, but here, this one is very lovely, vibrant, and it looks like the crystal that was seen in the show itself. This has just been cast in a clear plastic with the base being painted in a lovely gloss black, and again, it can be fitted into either of the Doctor's hands, so you've got many choices there if you decide to pose it, I guess. The final accessory is in actual fact an enemy, which is the giant maggot from the Green Death. Really nice to see this again, as it gives fans the chance to finally own one of these. And the fun thing about this accessory is that they've released other variants that were seen in the original set that came out in about 2009. So the idea is basically you get a maggot at random when you purchase the set. So I've got the sort of semi-looking up one, I guess. I think that's what you want to call it. I don't know. It sort of looks like it's about to attack. Some fans aren't happy with this because of the fact that they didn't get the variant that they wanted, or that it should have included 3 variants because of what the price was. And I must admit, I do agree with them to an extent, as these are extremely hard to get figures from an extremely rare set. And I've already seen people having to buy several versions of these sets just trying to get all 3 of them, which is dedication, I guess. For me, I wasn't that bothered on which variant that I'd got because I did own that original set from 2009, so I'm happy, but unfortunately, a lot of people have missed out on that set. It looks extremely detailed on such a small sculpt. The body has just been cast in this sort of beige cream colour with the dirty washes over the top. And on top of that, you also have this green colour paint to represent the deadly slime that was seen within that episode. You also have the teeth at the front, which have just been painted in white, with the inside of the mouth being painted pink. Very lovely attention to detail here. It looks menacing enough. And to finish things off, you also have a lovely glossy wash over the top, which represents the on-screen prop quite well, as they were, made out of condoms. So yeah, this figure variant is a really good addition for the average collector, and I really cannot wait to see if we do get more variants in the near future. Who knows, we may see a Season 7 version come out, or several of them. I know the character like to re-release things from time to time, so yeah, hopefully we'll see some more variants soon. Now on to the roleplay factor of the set, which is of course the Doctor's sonic screwdriver. This is a variant that was always iconic to the Third Doctor's era, what with it being extremely colourful. This is in actual fact a re-release, but with a slight update. This time the whole body has been added with electroplating all over the body of the Sonic, just to give the toy a feel that it's actually made of metal, and I think it works quite well here. I love the sheen it gives in different lighting, just like how metal would react when you put it underneath certain lighting. The emitter has just been painted in a maroon colour, which is kind of close to the on-screen prop, but I think it should be slightly lighter. You also have the silver bullet on the inside, which is depicted in that lovely silver that you've seen on many of the Daleks and the Cybermen that have come out in the past, and it looks really nice here. And you also have that lovely indent on the back, which is where the magnet is later attached in later stories. The red stripe at the top has been painted in a lovely vibrant red. Sadly, there's a bit of paint chip on mine, but it's not the end of the world, and it's probably going to happen over time if you're handling it every day. You also have the iconic barbershop pole, which is in actual fact a sticker, which has been stuck on perfectly, and there doesn't seem to be any air bubbles on mine whatsoever, so that is a plus. You've also got the 3 grooves at the bottom of the slider section that have been depicted in black, and to finish things off, you have that lovely handle detailing that's all been depicted in black and white, just like how the on-screen prop looks. But there is one thing I would like to point out, is that the black strip at the top should in actual fact be red. Fans have researched into the Sonic and realised that that line is meant to be red. Unfortunately, character haven't really done this here, but not the end of the world, and considering that this is probably going to stay back in the box, I'm really not that bothered. Now, even though this is a wonderful update to a previous toy that came out a few years back, this is probably the least interesting factor for this set for me, as I actually stopped collecting the Sonic toys a few years back as I got into collecting the replicas that fans can get, such as the little shop props ones and RB replicas and so on and so forth. Nothing against these, of course, but for me, once you hold such a gorgeous replica in your hand, it's really hard to go back. The weight and the feel of the prop is just so superior. But on a positive note, character have done cosplayers a justice into making affordable sonic screwdrivers for use as props at conventions, and are still fabulous toys nonetheless, and it is a great opportunity for fans to be able to pick up their favourite design at such an affordable price. So looking at the sonic screwdriver, the Sonic in actual fact has 4 sounds. So the first sound is your standard sort of sonic noise. The second version, I believe, is from the 12th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. And the last 2 are, in actual fact, the Third Doctor's era. The first one being from the scene in the Sea Devils, where the Doctor is using his sonic screwdriver to detect the landmines. And the last sound being the sound that was used as the door handle in the story Inferno. So there's some really great Easter eggs here, and I love that character have added that in. For figure articulation, if you take the cape off, the articulation is pretty standard. Head can move from side to side, arms can do a full 360 turn, biceps can do a full 360 turn, his elbows can bend at a 90-degree angle, wrists can also do a full 360 turn, his waist can do a full 360 turn, his legs can move forward and out to the sides, being able to do the splits at a 90-degree angle. He also has articulation at the thighs, and then to finish things off, his knees can bend to a 90-degree angle, which is a nice plus. So overall, really great figure, and a great way to start 2025 with the figure range. I mean, it has been spoken about before that a range of Doctors were coming, but I didn't think it would be anytime soon. The updated head is such a nice addition, and I really hope we do get more variants using this head, hopefully a version from season 7, as I'd love to see some more representation from that season. Maybe a 2-pack with this, sure, who knows? The accessories that were hard to come by are also a nice addition, as it gives fans the opportunity to own such rare pieces. As for the Sonic, it's a really nice toy, and the electroplating is like icing on the cake. I mean, they haven't done it with any of the classic toys before, so it's nice to see this now. I mean, hopefully we will be seeing it if we do get a 4th or a 5th Doctor version, so fingers crossed that is carried on. But to some fans, this is a really nice addition for them. As for the maggots, I do hope everyone gets the variants that they wanted, or hopefully you can swap it with other people to get your desired maggot. So hopefully in the near future we will be getting more news about the upcoming sets, as I generally cannot wait to see what we will be getting. If we are going to be getting more of these Vortex releases, I really do hope that we get some updated variants, maybe of the Season 18 4th Doctor with his hats, or even the duffel-coated 7th Doctor that we saw prototyped back in the day. I mean, the opportunities are endless here. So, yeah, that pretty much ends the review. Hopefully we'll be back with some more upcoming videos throughout 2025, as I have been a bit sporadic with these uploads, so stay tuned for updates. By the way, subscribe.